All right, Shalom Akim, stop this lesson. I do want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Takadash. Double one star apostles and elders for great Nelson that taught us his truth, peace, and blessings. To sincere Akim is pushing his truth and all true sincerity. Okay, I'm the brother Yerah Abayah from the Great Millstone Miami Camp. And come back to the spirit power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, to make another very quick lesson. Okay, in this lesson, I'm going to be going into how us as men, as brothers, we are to appreciate the brotherhood. Okay, not taking what we have for granted, because it's like because we are that we got, man. Okay, we done forsaken family. Okay, people in the world. All right, and now the only people we have is ourselves. Okay, and we are to not take that for granted. Ultimately, give back to the brotherhood. Okay, be brotherly. All right, because that's what the scriptures tell us to do, man. Okay, showing charity. Scriptures tell us that the charity cover a multitude of sins. Okay, whether you be able to help a brother out. Okay, you should put in a mind that, hey man, I'm helping this brother out of the kindness, the grace, that Yahweh Shai has given me. Okay, to help out my brother, man. There's I'm roughly paraphrasing. Basically, there's one that laid out his life for his brother, showing you, that it's sacrifice too within this brotherhood. Okay, you may have to die for your brother. Are you willing to take that step? Okay, who was the ultimate sacrifice for us, man? Yahweh Shai. Okay, one of the greatest sacrifices that were done, was by Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, laying his life out for his brothers. Okay, that's the number one form of love that that was shown to us, man. Okay. Him giving himself as a sacrifice, man. All right. And part of being a brother too, is loving your brother as well. Okay, don't not taking the love that we have for each other for granted, because brothers do hold deep love for each other, man. Scriptures tell us love your neighbor. And when you go into that word neighbor, it means brother. Okay, we are to love our neighbors, man. Our brothers. All right. Hey, Yahweh Shai loved us. We are to do the same. We are to see Yahweh Shai in our brothers. So we are to keep that same love. We are to keep that same brotherly love for each other. Okay, not abusing that. Okay, and what is love? Ultimately, love is an action. Okay, love is a form of action. It's one thing to say you love somebody, but your action is supposed to prove that you love that person, man. Okay, so if you say you love your brother, what are your actions that follows that show that you love your brother? Okay, when a brother needs you, are you there for your brother? Okay, when a brother needs help, when he want to call you, are you making yourself available, or if your brother needs you to do something for him? All right. Okay, these things show our love for our brothers, man. Okay, and we ought to not take any of these things for granted, because we don't want to be selfish in this ministry, man. Because the Lord will remove us from amongst the brotherhood if we are being selfish and only really caring about yourself and abusing the brotherhood. Okay, because you see that brothers chill with each other, brothers come through for each other financially, spiritually, emotionally. Okay, you take that for granted, and the Lord's gonna show that, man. He's gonna show that you was never really sincere for the brotherhood. Okay, that's why I'm ultimately saying that we ought to not take what we have for granted. Okay, really understanding why the Lord put us together. Okay, really understand what's the ultimate mindset when we are together, man. Okay, we all have one common goal, and you know, and that's to be saved. Okay. But yeah, man, you know, we all have one certain goal to be saved. All right, we gotta not take any of those things for granted, not really abusing the brotherhood, man. Okay. You know, cause you know, we all that we got, man, and it wasn't really a really long lesson. Okay, it was just something that I was, you know, thinking about, you know, cause a brother that, you know, that's not in this city, you know, came down to, you know, that, you know, the fellowship with us, and you know, shit, man, you know, a brother do that for you, that, you know, that shows his, you know, his dedication to you, you know, and his truth, man, spending quality time, and it's like, it's not like you're gonna start saying nigga shit or get into something wicked, you know, it's always gonna go back to something spiritual. Okay, you may start talking about sports, start talking about bitches and females, but then ultimately, you know, because y'all are of that same body, it's gonna always revert back to the spirit, okay, and to the scriptures, man. Okay, and that's a beautiful thing, because when you look at it, you know, if you may try to have a conversation with a nigga in the world, or somebody that you may knew that's in the world, and try to have a conversation, but you know, y'all don't have any common similarities, man. You know, you can talk to Jake, but it's only for so much, man. You know, you can have a full hour conversation with your brother going in the prophecies, going in the Esau, Edom, going into the kingdom. Okay, you can, because y'all have a common goal, man. Y'all have a common mindset that y'all want to be delivered from this place, and y'all want to see the downfall of America. Rather, you know, you talk to somebody in the world, it's like, you know, you can only talk about so much. All right, because ultimately they don't understand what you understand. All right, they don't comprehend what you comprehend. Okay, but you have your brother, you know, they gonna understand what what you talking about, man. Okay, they gonna be able to relate to the trial and tribulation that you're going through, and with that, give exhortation, man. You know, these things, you know, we can't take these little things for granted, because these are things that a lot of people in the world do crave, man. You know, men, you know, that's why they join fraternities and sororities and all these other groups, because they want some type of, you know, relationship or some type of brotherhood, you know, to, you know, kind of, you know, have some type of backbone, man. You know, but that's all in, you know, wickedness, and all in vain, vanity. Okay, because those fraternities and sororities not really gonna save you, and they can only give you so much. Okay. But having this brotherhood, all right, that's going to give you, you know, that can give you life, man. How, you know, being in this truth can ultimately change your mindset. It can change how you view certain things. It can change how you used to be. All right, you know, brothers giving you, you know, consultation. Brothers giving you, okay, exhortation, or, you know, when you down, and it's righteously ask, you know, exhortation too. Okay, you know, compared to a nigga in the world. You know, there's some type of exhortation, but it's worldly, man. Okay, and worldly exhortation is not really going to help you as much, you know, comparing that to, you know, something of a righteous sort, man. Okay, having, you know, a brother really down for you, having a brother telling you that the Lord got it. Okay, read these precepts, Sirach 2. The Lord always going to make a way. Okay, make it not hasten the time of trouble. Okay, these scriptures give us comfort. Being in the brotherhood give us comfort. Okay, to help us move on, to help us push forward. Okay, and us being in the truth, not taking that for granted, man. All right, keeping our head on the swivel. All right, brothers, brothers giving us, brothers getting on us too, man. Okay, having some type of edge of protection when you go out. Okay, with your brother, you don't got to worry about a brother doing some off shit to you or crossing your back. Okay, but because subconsciously he knows that, he's not supposed to be doing that. Okay, these are all beneficial things that come with being a part of this brotherhood, being a part of this truth, man. Okay, because you don't find something so precious that other people in this world seek for. Okay, everybody else want a brotherhood, something that they could call, people that they could call on, because they don't live in loneliness. All right, but we got something that's so rich in the spirit that we have to not take it for granted. Giving back into the brothers, man. Not really, You know, being so selfish with you know, with this truth, man. Okay? But yeah, brothers, man, you know, just something else, you know, that was on my mind. I would say for the past hour or two, man, just wanted to put it on wax, you know, to, you know, hopefully edify you, brothers, man. Okay, so Lord, you was edified with that. I do want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Bakakodash, the born star apostles and elder grand most one that taught us his truth. Peace and blessing to the sincere audience. With that, I want to say shalom.